think you're absolutely right. You need to check that before you promote someone, that clarity comes before harmony. And that if you are working with your team and you're part of the team and now you're the manager, you're not part of the team in a certain role any longer. You are outside that team.
Welcome back. Last time, Kelly Costello explained why she runs Puppy Cake lean and owner operated. Now we get into people, who she hires, how she trains them, and the manager mistake she didn't catch until it was too late.
So the people you have in operations, you hired them and trained them to, especially on that job, or how did you find the right people for the production?
Yeah, we've been really lucky. So we're living in a rural area, and I just generally speaking, there's a lot of really good hardworking people in a rural area. They're used to putting in the hard work and not complaining. And like I said, it's all women. So like for mixing, they were trained to do
Mhm.
this. I used to be a mixer. I started my business really small and I mixed everything, trained people. I don't do it anymore. It's been a while since I've done it, but I do run some of the big machines whenever something happens, two people call off sick, we need to get
Okay.
something done, I'll run a big machine. So we provide all the training in-house. And there's a couple of like key people, myself and my husband also works in the business, who know how to run all the machines so that
Mhm.
there's always a, I'm trying to think of the word, like there's always a key, like a master key up in here for being able to train people. But I've got a really good production supervisor. She does great at training people. And
Excellent.
everyone who works full time as a production employee has to be able to do all the jobs, which is mixing, running our giant machines, and running some of our smaller machines, as well as just putting items together.
Kelly, how many hours a week are you working in the business? And are you able to step away for 2 weeks holiday without getting in touch with the company?
So I don't quite work 40 hours a week. For our manufacturing, we do 4 10s, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or sorry, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mhm.
And they work 40 hours in that time. So Friday is a flex day for me. I kind of put in a little bit of time. Sometimes I'll do meetings on Fridays, but I don't quite work 40 hours. I think the challenge of me having this owner operator model is that I would not be able to go 2 weeks with having no touches.
Mhm.
Because I do too. I gotta be honest with you, I don't wanna go on a vacation for 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's too long, that's too long for me. Maybe that's the American in me, but a 2-week-long vacation is way too long. But could I go, like, 4 or 5 days without opening my email? Yes, but
Okay.
not 2 weeks.
Let me rephrase that. You're not going on holiday, but you have to go maybe to the hospital. You are
Oh.
2 weeks out of anything. Would your company still work on, and or would that be a problem?
Yeah, my company would still be able to if something happened to me where I was, like, in the hospital and not able to function, it would still be able to that's assuming my husband is still able, because he's an employee as well. Assuming
Mhm.
he's fine, then yeah, it would continue on. I
Okay.
have cross-trained enough of my production and shipping people that they can jump in and handle a few things, and I also have an independent contractor that I've had for years. She's like a VA in the Philippines.
Okay.
She also knows a ton of systems and has access to a lot of training modules and things like that,
Mhm.
where if someone just let her know, "Hey, Kelly's out," she would be able to step up and handle a lot of my duties. I know
Mhm.
she would not love it, but she could do it, and she could guide other people at the company to gaining access and, like, responding to messages. Because I handle the customer service, which isn't a lot. I get, like, a message or 2 a day, but
Mm.
those things would need to be answered.
Okay.
So it
Because
wouldn't fall
that's
apart. It's not ideal.
I think that's the main part that we come back to the beginning when you said what is important for you when you started the company, this kind of independence. And I think I see that with lots of owners of small and medium sized companies who love the business. They ask, why would I go on holiday? I don't want to be on holiday. I love my job. I love to work on it. That's why I switched the question, because anything can happen. And what I understand from how you put in structures, processes, etc., your company still will survive. So it is in a way sellable.
Yeah.
even if you are not in the company, because there are other people who could take over your work and are able to take over the work, right?
Yeah, and just talking about the sellability again, I was thinking about this just the other day. If I were to sell the company, it would have to be to a company that also does dog treats, that
Mm,
also has their own manufacturing, that has some powder manufacturing. And most likely it would be they would buy the IP and the branding and the
mhm,
customers, but they wouldn't necessarily buy the equipment and the manufacturing
mhm,
facility.
mm,
And that would probably work, and it would be valuable to him because one of the reasons that I it doesn't make sense for me to have employees is that there just isn't enough work to justify full-time employees.
yeah,
There's not enough work to justify a full-time sales and marketing manager. But if Puppy Cake got purchased by like a larger company like Three Dog Bakery, well, they already have a sales and marketing team that could easily take on the little work that is necessary to nurture and grow this company,
yeah,
and it would
yeah,
make sense for them. So that's and it's not that it isn't sellable. It would have to be there's a specific word for it. It's like a key or something like where it's a partner that really makes sense. It would have to be a partner that aligns with and already is in this business and already has a lot of the facilities. It would just be an easy transition to bring the brand and the IP in. But again, in case my employees are
yeah.
watching this, I have no plans on selling the company.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
What
I think we understood that's not the point to sell the company. Yeah. Before we continue, a quick question. Do you actually know how dependent your business is on you right now? Most founders have a gut feeling. They know too much runs through them, but they don't have a clear picture. Where exactly are they the bottleneck? And what would be the next logical step? And that's exactly why I created the owner independence check. It's 16 simple questions, takes about 5 minutes, and it shows you in a very concrete way where your business stands across 5 critical areas, from your own leadership to structure, strategy, and your team. At the end, you'll get a personalized result, not just a score, but a clear assessment of where you are today and what you should focus on next. The check is free, takes less than 5 minutes, and you'll find the link in the show notes.
Yeah, what you're describing, Kelly, would be called a strategic
There you
partner versus a financial partner. And that's something that could be done even without a change in ownership. You could have strategic partnerships in various regions in the US or various distribution verticals or even geographic. Who knows, Barrett? Maybe there's some dog food stores in Germany that want to sell puppy cake. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And before you talk about German regulations, I know everything in puppy cake is human grade already.
Okay, so that means if I want to eat the cake and not giving to my dog, I could eat it without problems.
Yeah, you could safely eat it. We cannot market it for human consumption, but you could I mean, I eat it. I every time
Okay.
we can't bake something, I taste it.
Of course, I wouldn't do that because my dog wouldn't love that.
No, I wanna drill into something. Kelly, you touched on earlier where you're physically located in Western Pennsylvania. Beautiful part of the country. My wife's from that area, as you know. It is fairly rural, a lot of farmland, horse farms, as pastures as well. And finding skilled workers can be a challenge. Sounds like you've gotten very, very lucky and been able to hire folks. But one of the challenges I know that you've had over the years, because I had the same challenge, is promoting people within the company. As you've grown and you've added more layers and you need managers and it's a mess. And I know you've had some challenges filling managerial roles. You made some mistakes, as have I. And Barrett's really good at understanding and providing some insight on promoting folks into managerial roles. So, let's anonymize it a little bit. You don't need to share any names, but can you think back to one or maybe two specific challenges you had? And then I'd love to hear Barrett's insight on that.
Yeah. I have one specific challenge that really surprised me whenever I had like hindsight. So I promoted someone who I had seen demonstrate that they had a strategic brain and really was very empathetic and very like people oriented. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, great. I'm getting the strategy. Plus, I'm getting someone who's people oriented, who's going to be able to get the best out of everyone on their team. And they were very well loved by their team. The challenge, and now that I see back on it, I never saw them demonstrate that they could be uncomfortable. I
Mm.
never saw them demonstrate that they could make a difficult decision that might hurt someone's feelings. And so the team was all about harmony. And unfortunately, this manager focused heavily on harmony, which is nice, but it doesn't drive results.
Mm.
So what was happening is the people on their team would frequently turn things in late, or we would be in a meeting. At the time we were doing traction, so we were doing the EOS system, and a due date would come up and and it would be brought up. Okay, is this ready? Oh, this isn't ready yet. And instead of holding that person accountable, okay, we'll extend it 2 weeks. And that happened all the time. And so what ended up happening is this team had a lot of harmony, but it had very few results. And ultimately, it didn't work for everybody suffered the consequences of that. And so I learned that having someone who is a really good manager, one of the biggest things is being able to be uncomfortable. Like,
Mm.
how resilient are they in being uncomfortable? Can they hold people accountable? And I had another person who was in a high leadership role who ultimately realized holding people accountable was crushing their soul, and the job was no longer for them, and they exited. And
Mm.
so that is really hard. Like, that's one of the hardest things about being a manager is holding people accountable and being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. That needs to you need to check that in a certain way before you promote someone, or at least talk with them about what it means to be a manager. That clarity comes before harmony, and that if you are working with your team and you're part of the team, and now you're the manager, you're not part of the team in a certain role any longer. You are outside that team in a certain way. And that means that in some times you have to take hard decisions, and that means you are lonely. Because all the others now can say, "Ah, the idiot! Why did we now? We now need to work 2 hours more just to get that deadline," and blah blah blah. And you, the manager, are to blame. So if you can't stand that, you said holding people accountable, that's not all. It's just also taking decisions where as a manager that decision needs to be taken in good for the company. And it's partly bad for the employees because they have to work overtime, for example, then they will not like you. And if your goal is to be liked by others, then you have a tough time. So it is nice to be liked or even to be loved by your team, but that shouldn't be the goal. The goal is to take the right decisions, to be fair, to help your team, but in the end, to get the right results. You're in charge to get the results with your team. And I see that very often. So the best way to find out if someone, I think, is able to meet that is, first of all, talk with them and ask them, would that be a problem for you? Is that clear for you that harmony is not the goal? And second, if you see some people who already took or have taken this kind of, not manager role, but if you are in sports, for example, and you are a trainer, you train the hockey team or something like that, then that is a good sign that someone is taking decisions, and the trainer is not often liked because he's taking certain decisions. That's a sign where you can say, okay, this person has certain capabilities to become a manager.
I think
I'm
that's
going
such a challenge trying to suss that out in an interview or even
Yeah.
someone you've worked with. Are they going to be able to sit down and say, hey, you were late 3 times on these projects? The next step, we're putting on on a PIP, a performance improvement plan, or, it's hard to see that. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Peterson principle. Okay. Yeah. So I really feel like I Peterson principled quite a few people that worked for me
Okay.
because I saw they had talent. I saw potential and I promoted them, but ultimately I didn't myself and the employee did not know that they didn't have the capacity for the position until it was essentially too late. And like
Well,
you really can't demote someone.
what
We'll stop there. Next time, Bernd and Kelly get into the trap of promoting for talent instead of attitude, the cost of training nobody warns you about, and why a contractor can beat a hire. Part 3.
Before you go, would your business still run if you stepped away for 3 months? If you're not sure, find out with the free owner independence check. You'll get a clear result and practical insights on where your business still depends on you and what to do about it. It takes about 5 minutes. It's completely free, and you'll find the link in the show notes.